Hi Dollar Divas, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be doing a full face of Shop Miss A makeup. This is from a recent Shop Miss A haul, and so yeah, I've got a full face of makeup I'm so excited to try. I did one of these last year, it will be linked down below. So yeah, I'm super excited to try out all this new makeup. So if you're a returning Dollar Diva, thank you so much for coming on back for another video, and if you're new to my channel, my name is Jessica and I'm basically a bargain makeup channel. What that means is I like to do a lot of the same fun content that other makeup channels do. I just like to keep it in the bargain price point, so the closer to $1 the better. And of course Shop Miss A has a lot of bargain makeup, and every product I have today is under $2. It's either $1.88 or $1.55, so I just love that. So if it sounds like you're in the right place, I do hope you'll subscribe and be part of our Dollar Diva family here on YouTube. And as always, I'll have related content linked down below. That way, if you're new, you can kind of catch up on what we've been doing here. So yeah, we got a lot of makeup to try today. So without any further chit chat, let's just go ahead and get into today's video. So I'm going to be trying the AOA Studio. This is from the Paw Paw line, and it's their Easy Brow Gel. This is in medium brown. This is kind of a newer product for me. Over the years, I haven't really had good luck with these kinds of products, but I recently kind of fell in love with my Ioni one from Dollar Tree, and so wanted to try another brand. It's kind of, it gives you like a product like this gives you kind of a more natural brow. And I will go in and clean these up, so they may look a little ridiculous at first, but I found that the best thing to do is to like apply the product to the brows, and then I kind of go in and kind of clean up the edges and make them not look crazy. So right now I'm just going to kind of brush it through. It's a little messy. I think this one here is not quite as messy as the Ioni one. Making a little mess, but nothing too awful. I think the shade, like I said, looks a little ridiculous right now. We're going to go in, we're going to fix it, I promise. Then what I also do is once it dries down a little bit, I like to go with like a clean spoolie like this and kind of brush it out after it's dried a bit. So like I said, just gonna trust the process. I think so far, even with it looking as crazy as it does, I think the color is gonna be awesome. These products have always been a little tricky for me because I don't have a lot of brow hair. And so a lot of it does get on my skin. And so I've always kind of stayed away from these products thinking they're not really for me, but I found a way to make them work for me. Like I said, trust the process. Right now it looks like I'm getting like, I don't know, what are those things when they dye your eyebrows or they, I don't know, it ends up looking crazy like this. Really like the color so far, so I'll end up doing that more. So I'm gonna clean them up now and they're gonna start looking better, I absolutely promise. I've got the AOA Studio Flawless Liquid Concealer. It comes in this big tube. I don't remember the shade and it's not on the package, but it comes, this is like a giant tube, y'all. It's a 0.67 ounce, which is big for a concealer. Oh, I forgot. I feel like it's a squeeze bottle, but it's got a doe foot and it comes in a tube, which is, I don't know, throws me off a little bit. So we're gonna use this to conceal as well, but I'm gonna use it right now to clean up my brow. So I'm gonna take this little flat brush that you see all the time here on my channel and just put some on there. And I'm gonna go in and start making this make sense. When I do my brows like this, I end up having to go along the top as well. And kind of make these, gotta make these brows look like they belong on my face, you know? So then I take a concealer brush. I definitely can't do this method when I'm like in a hurry, because it does take, for me, it's a little time consuming for me. I kind of blur the edges a little bit with my concealer brush. See, it's already starting to come together. I'm gonna brush through them some. Already starting to feel better about it. I've kind of been embracing a little bit more of a natural looking brow. Again, it's not really something that I thought I could get because my brows are so thin and sparse. So, you know, like everyone else, especially, I guess, what is it, the 2016 brow trend where our brows were all like kind of crazy, you know? I just always had a little bit of a brow, what's the word? Complex, I guess. Especially when brows became like really big and I just literally have none of my own. My left eye here is always a little trickier to do. Take my brush now and see if I can't even these up. It's a little bit of a slightly different shape, but that's part of the art, is getting things symmetrical. Because if you think about it, you're going in, like I know I feel this when I do my liner and stuff, especially my brows, you're going with the same hand. If you're right-handed or left-handed, you're going in with the same hand, but on the opposite side, you're kind of going in opposite direction with your arm, you know? So it kind of, it's not equal. Starting to come together now. I'm not completely done. I feel like I might need to add a little bit more on the inner part of my right eye. Okay, they're not perfect so far, but they are looking a lot better than they were. There we go, they've kind of come together a little bit. Again, there is still a little bit of a learning curve using a brow gel for me, but I'm really starting to take to it. So, and this one's a little bit different than the Ioni, but I really like the color. I mean, it's a much cooler brown than the Ioni one. I think I have an Ioni, it's like either dark brown or medium brown, and this is a whole lot more, a little bit on the cooler side, I feel. So I got this in my last Shop Miss A haul. It's just the AOA Studio Shadow Stay Primer. I'm gonna add some of this onto my lids. That way we can try out some eyeshadow. So for eyeshadow, I get this AOA Studio it's a 9-pan eyeshadow palette called Colorful Canvas Eyeshadow Palette. The color story is Expressionism. I thought this was really pretty. It's got some shimmers and mattes. We also have a liquid eyeshadow as well from AOA, from A2O Labs. It's the Liquid Lights eyeshadow. I think I got the shade Prism. Yeah, Prism. So it's kind of like it's a white with like a slightly purple cast. So I'm gonna just see what kind of a look we can get. So I'm gonna first go over with the shade right here and kind of lay that down. Just as a base. It's probably not gonna have a ton of color payoff, but it's just something that we wanna lay down. It's probably about the color of my eyelid. But it looks like it has good pigmentation so far. Okay, so we've got that laid down. I'm just going to clean off that same brush on my color switch. This is from Sassy Chic from Dollar Tree. I really want to go into that shade right there, but I'm a little afraid to right yet. Even though this is a shimmer, I'm going to go into this and put this a little bit into my, ooh, that one's got like a duochrome. I didn't swatch that in the haul. That's got a duochrome effect. It's kind of like a peach with like a green kind of, shift to it. I didn't realize that. So I'm going to go into it anyway, and I'm going to kind of put that up into the crease. Probably won't really see the shift this way. We're just to kind of deepen that up just a bit, or brighten it up. Just kind of give it a little bit more dimension. I'm going to take a shorter, more compact brush. I'm going to start building it up. So I'm going to go into that shade right there. And then I'm going to go with the next shade I'll go into is that darkest shade. So let me know down below if you've tried any of these products so far from Shop Miss A. I'm making a mess because I'm going heavy-handed. Have you ever tried this eyeshadow palette? How do you do with a brow gel? If there's any tricks and pointers you can give me, please do. Like I said, I've got very thin, sparse brows, so I always need brow help. That's not adding a whole lot, but it's really not a super dark color. I'm gonna go into that darkest shade right now. Excuse my nails, I'm getting them done tomorrow. By the time this video goes up, I will already have them, but I let my last set kind of fall away. And I'm getting a mani and a pedi tomorrow. That's deeping it up, I guess, enough. It's not super pigmented. And my brush is a little damp too. Like I said, not those two colors there are not like the most pigmented in the world, but they're getting the job done. I've tried the little eyeshadow palettes that look like e.l.f. Bite Size from Shop Miss A, and that seemed to be a little bit better quality than this so far. Okay, so now I think I want to go into that really bright pop right there. I'm gonna use that first brush that I used. I just want to get I want this to be a little bit. Yeah, see, there we go. Just a little bit of a brightness in there. So now I'm going to take that liquid shadow and I'm going to put it onto like a flat brush. I don't know how these are going to be compared to like the LA Colors shimmer shadows. I don't know. Okay, yeah, it's putting color on there. It just doesn't seem like it. I like to put it on a little brush like this. I just feel like I feel like it goes on smoother when you do this versus using the actual applicator itself. This is a little bit more purple than I thought. Like when I bought it, I thought it was going to be maybe a little bit more on like the white, like pearl side. But I'm not completely mad at it. I think it actually looks really nice with this eyeshadow palette. I was a little nervous at first how it was going to go with the palette, but I think we're going to be able to make it work. There we go. I think so far that's kind of like unexpectedly pretty. Of course, we're going to come back and add more details like an inner corner and all that kind of stuff. So we'll come back and add more details, you know how we do, but I'm gonna move on to liner, lashes, face, all that good stuff. If you've been with me, you know the process. So I did want to try a mascara from Shop Miss A. I never have. And this is the AOA Studio Elongating Mascara. I think they had one that was like a volume, curling. And so, yeah, it says it's long-wearing, buildable, and lengthening. So we're going to give it a try. I do have a set of lashes, but I'm going to I always put a coat of mascara on under my lashes. The brush looks very promising. And I was just really curious to see if a $1.88 mascara or $1.55 mascara, how it compares to like a lot of what Dollar Tree has. Because Dollar Tree has a lot of really crappy mascaras. I think so far, it's really good, y'all. I like the brush. The brush feels like a really good like drugstore brush. Y'all, it's really good. I mean, I've got like sad lashes anyway, but like just one coat of that, I don't know if you can see. You can see that's just one coat. I'll be curious to try this with that Essence lash primer that I recently used in my drugstore makeup tutorial. If you missed that, I did a full face of the cheapest makeup I could find at CVS, and I bought the Essence lash primer, and I will be very curious to try that with this, because as good as this is, like just on its own, I bet that will make it even better. And like I said, I'm probably not going to do 2 coats, but I'm really pleased with just the 1 coat. That is definitely better than most of what the Dollar Tree has, for sure. So this is from my last AOA makeup video. It's the A20 Labs Liquid Eyeliner. So I'm going to put this on, and then we'll come back, and I'm going to be trying out some new lashes. I'll be right back. Okay, so my liner is on. So I went for a slightly different type of lash than I usually buy from Shop Miss A. This is the AOA Studio Deluxe Curl lashes. They're pre-curled and lifted. This is the style Josephine. And I am not sure about these, y'all. They're a little short for my taste. And I'm going to definitely have to trim them. My goodness, they are curly though. Like, look at that. I may actually really love these. I don't know. We'll see. They're definitely going to be a little long for my eyes, so I'm going to trim them for sure. With these, I'm really struggling on whether, I guess I probably should trim them from the end. So I'm going to trim off about that much there. It's about 3 little clusters or so. Then years ago, I did a Shop Miss A haul, and I actually bought this and used it up. It's the AOA Studio Super Strip Lash Adhesive. So that's the lash glue we're going to be using today. So I'm going to apply this glue to my lashes, and I'm going to need to sit and let it get tacky. So once I get this on, we'll probably go ahead and move to foundation and let this glue get tacky, because you want to let your glue get good and tacky. So we'll go on to the next step and then come back and put our lashes on. So this is actually from my last Shop Miss A video as well, and it was very yellow on my skin. So it's the AOA Studio Buildable Satin Foundation. I don't know which shade this is. It doesn't seem to have it on the bottle, but it's pretty yellow on my skin. You're gonna shake them up real good too, it says. The finish was really good. Like I said, it was just very yellow. So I bought the AOA Studio Shade Adjusting Drops. I bought the blue. So the idea is you mix this in with your foundation. So I'm gonna make like a little bit of a palette on the back of my hand. I've never used a mixing medium before. This is my first time. Another little drop. That might be a mistake. Yep, it was a mistake. See, it's like now it's blue on my hand. I think I had it perfect before. That's okay. We'll just make a second batch, I guess you can say. Like, I hate a dropper bottle for my foundation. Okay, I think that's gonna make it just about right, hopefully. Sometimes the problem I find with Shop Miss A is that they tend to be sold out on a lot of stuff. And I was wanting to also pick up something to make like my foundation. I was wanting to get more colors of the mixing mediums, but they didn't have like some of what I wanted. I think that's doing a really great job. I think it's far, far less yellow than it was when I used it last time. Like, it was like one of those things where I was just like, God, I love the finish of this foundation, but I just feel like I really messed up on the color. But I did have a Dollar Diva tell me that they all tend to run a little bit yellow. That did a really great job. I mean, of course, you know, bronzer and stuff is gonna make the color look even better because it's not exactly right for my skin when you compare it to my neck and everything. But yeah, I think that definitely helped a whole lot. So I think my lash glue is ready, so I'm gonna apply my lashes and I will be right back. So I am back and I've got my lashes on, and I will have my lash tutorial down below. That way you can see like tips and tricks and how I apply lashes, and I've got 2 different methods, so I'll have that down below. And I'll do a rundown of all the products at the end of the video. I like my right eye. You can see my right eye. I couldn't get my left one to look right. And I don't know why. They're just different. They're placed completely different. And I don't know if it's because I trimmed them and the lash is like a little bit like torqued or what, but I'm gonna look a little crazy because I tried and could not get them even, and that's usually they're never perfect, but usually I can get them to where they're even-ish, and I can't make this make sense, y'all. I may have just fixed it good enough. So I'll give my final thoughts at the end. But yeah, so far I don't really feel, the band is thick. They're way too long, so you have to trim. I would say most people would have to trim them before they put them on. And they feel cheap. Which I don't usually have a problem with most eyelashes from Dollar Tree. So that's how I feel so far. But we're gonna move on, and I'll give my final thoughts at the end. Like, I like to see the whole look before I make complete final judgments. So I'm gonna use the concealer now to conceal. Put some here under my eyes, and a little under my nose. I've been blowing my nose a lot lately, so I feel like I'm a little red around my nose. Definitely tender. I generally have really liked a lot of the concealers I've had from Shop Miss A. The last one I got was probably as of now, I would say my least favorite. I would say it had like the least coverage, which isn't always a bad thing, but I think I'm gonna like this one a little bit more. And I like the one that was the AOA Studio Pawpaw one. I got that years ago. I really liked it. Concealer is definitely a better thing on Shop Miss A than it is like at Dollar Tree. So that's really nice. I think it has really nice coverage. It brightened up under my eyes really nice. And again, you get like this huge container, which is really, really nice. So now for setting powder. I've got the AOA Studio Flawless Pressed Powder. This is in translucent. It comes in this kind of interesting container. I'm gonna go in with a makeup puff, and I'm gonna just kind of do a baking under my eye. I have another pressed powder from them that I really like. I also really like their banana powder, their loose banana powder. I got that years ago. I'm gonna let that bake for a second. I'm not gonna panic, and I'm just gonna take some of it and set down the rest of my makeup. I'm gonna brush that off. I've tried a lot of translucent powders here in the last year. A lot from Dollar Tree, Shop Miss A, Shein, Temu. And lately, I just feel like they just leave such a white cast on my skin. I think I'm like favoring more like a light banana powder. I think I like to have a slightly like yellow undertone in my powder. I really haven't tried the pink powders yet. I don't know if they're right for my skin tone. Yeah, like I said, they all just seem so white to me. They're just a little much, but usually I can always make it work with bronzer. So for bronzer, I've got the Venetian Romance Creamy Bronzer. This is in the shade Canal, and this seems really promising, you guys. I'm really excited to give it a try. So I'm gonna put some of this on, I'm gonna just take some, I probably got too much, and I'm gonna put it like on the back of my hand. And I'm gonna take my stippling brush and just really kind of diffuse the color. And I'm just gonna go in, I'm just gonna start under my chin a little bit until I get a little bit of courage, then come up here. This looks like it's not gonna have a ton of warmth in it. Looks like it's got a little bit more of a neutral undertone. There we go, that's really nice. That is like a really nice glow. It blended really well. It's not too warm. That's really nice. I'm gonna say that I'm a fan, y'all. I'm gonna run it down my neck a little bit, blend on my forehead a bit more. Yeah, I think that's a really nice finish. It feels like summer in here, I think. Yeah, I'm really like that so far. I think that's a wonderful product. Let me know if you ever tried the Venetian Romance products from Shop Miss A. So now for blush, I'm also super excited because I've got another cream product. This is the AOA Studio Hush Cream Sheer Blush. This is in Charm. It's like a red, first of all, it's in this little travel-friendly container, and it's in this kind of reddish shade. So I'm gonna take the back side of my Beauty Blender, and I'm gonna dip into it, and then kind of diffuse it on the back of my hand. That way we don't look crazy. Then I'm using just the clean side so I don't put too much color. That is beautiful. That looks like a very lit from within glow, I feel, don't you? I've come to really love like a little bit more of a reddish blush. Yeah, I think that is gorgeous. And a little goes a long way. That is a beautiful, beautiful shade of blush. Very, very pleased. So now for a highlighter, I think this packaging is beautiful. It's the AOA Studio Everglow Highlighter. This is in Magic Hour. Look at that. That looks so high-end, the packaging, and look at that beautiful highlighter in there. So I'm going to go in with a highlighter brush. I'm just going to swirl some of this, and we're going to get a bit of a glow. Very beautiful. It's not super glittery. It just has a really nice effect, and the color is really, really nice. It's kind of a different color. It's a little bit more of like a darker, like a pinkish shade than I normally have. So it's the color's a little different than what I already have in my collection, which is really nice too. So it doesn't look super gold or super white. It just has a really nice, almost like a flesh tone color. So now we're going to come back to the eyes. I still don't love these lashes, but see, the brows have really kind of, they feel more normal now. And so for my waterline, I've got the AOA Studio Perfect Eyeliner. This is in chocolate brown. And I'm going to test this on the waterline, which, you know, is where it's the ultimate test. I'm going to warm it up a little bit on the back of my hand. It's not really doing a terrible job. Of course, it's chocolate brown, so I have to, like, remember that it's not going to be, like, black in my waterline. So really not bad. We got an effect. Of course, you know, some of these cheaper eyeliners don't always tend to be like the best. And it's got a sharpener right here on the lid, which is like super handy, and it works really nice. Yeah, I'm very pleased. I mean, it's definitely not like the creamiest eyeliner in the world, and it's brown, so where I don't feel like it has a ton of payoff might be because of that. So far so good. I really probably would want to try it on my eyelid as well, which I will do in the future. So I'm going to add some finishing touches. I think I'm going to go back into the palette and put this shade right here on my inner corner. And I'm going to take a tapered brush, then I'm going to spray it with setting spray. See what kind of payoff this has. Oh, that's doing a really nice job on the inner corner. Definitely brightened it up and gave us a little bit of a shimmer. There we go, and I might pop a little bit of this under my brow bone just for fun. Just a little bit, not much at all. So there we go. I would say the eyes are done. And last but certainly not least, I do have a lip liner and a lip plumper. So for my lip liner, I got the AOA Studio Cosmic Cowgirl Lip Liner. This is in Horseshoe. I'm hoping that this is dark enough. So it's got a lip liner and a lip brush, so you can kind of diffuse the line. In my haul, I was a little concerned that it might not be dark enough, but usually what I've learned is with a swatch is sometimes the swatch, usually on the lips, it actually goes on a lot darker. And I'm a little, I don't know, weird. I like my lip liner to be like darker than my lips. I don't really like it to match. There we go. That's pretty good. We'll kind of see what it looks like with the lip plumper. I don't like the shade's not like my absolute favorite, but kind of diffuse it a little bit. Okay, so now I'm excited about this product here. This is the AOA Studio Full Lips Plumping Lip Gloss. This is in the shade Pink Light. It's this beautiful like bubblegum pink. And of course, I'll give this time to work. Of course, I'll do like a rundown of all the products, and I'll make this last to see if it's had time to plump or if there's a tingle or whatever the deal is. So this is going to take a little time. The shade is beautiful. It's got a little bit of a weird taste. It's very pigmented for like a lip plumper. Very, very pink. That's really beautiful. I don't really quite have a lip gloss that, at least not a lip plumper that's like this pink. That's really pretty, and I think it looks really, really cute with the eye look. So now a quick rundown of the products, and I'll save the lip plumper for last. That way I can let you know if it's tingling. So far, it is not. So there was a lot of things I really, really liked. So like the stars, shade adjusting drops, because it really made this foundation work so much better for my skin tone. Of course, I love the foundation. This is from my last video, of course. I hate the dropper bottle. I wish it came in a pump. These shade adjusting drops did a really nice job toning that yellow down. Of course, the lash glue I like. I think a couple of the standouts are the blush and the bronzer. Absolutely stunning, beautiful combination, very easy to work with. I can't imagine high-end being any better. This shade of blush is just, It's like my new obsession. But yeah, really like the cream blush. Definitely a fan of this blush so far. I think it looks beautiful. And the Venetian Romance cream bronzer. The mascara was surprisingly good, y'all. I just put a coat on. Of course, I put lashes on, but really good. I'll be curious to see what it looks like with 2 or 3 coats and or with my Essence Lash Primer. Really good. Definitely much better than most Dollar Tree mascaras. Concealer was really nice. You get a huge tube. Don't be fooled. It's got a doe foot. The tube makes me think it's going to be like a little squeeze bottle. But yeah, really nice. Definitely one of my favorite concealers from Shop Miss A so far. The lip liner really worked out well. It's not my favorite shade, but really not terrible. But I think I said in my haul what I hate about some of these dual-ended products, because I did this and made a mess. I'm still making a mess. I don't like when the cover for one side and the cover for another is shorter or longer, because I put this side on the pencil side and crushed the liner. So that's something that's a little annoying. So the lip liner is just kind of fine. Same thing with the eyeliner. I don't know if I'd feel different if it were black, like if I'd notice it more in my waterline, but it's just kind of okay so far. The pressed powder is just fine. I mean, there's translucent pressed powders at the Dollar Tree. I don't feel like it's necessarily any better than anything else I've tried. The eyeshadow palette is just kind of okay too. Not a whole lot of color payoff. The shimmers, I think, are a little bit better than the mattes. That light matte there, actually, I felt like had the most color payoff. But the darker shades, not as much. But we did get an eye look. And, you know, it's under $2, you know. It's probably a little bit more the quality of the 12 pan, the LA Colors 12 pan palettes. Probably the In Vogue one, it's a little bit closer to that quality where you get your shimmers and your mattes, and some of them might be a little bit more pigmented than others. So not bad, not super great. The liquid shadow is kind of okay. I thought it was gonna be a little, to look at it, I thought it would be a little bit more white, but it's really more purple, and I don't really feel like it has a whole lot of a punch and pow to it. So definitely not as good as some other bargain liquid shadows that I've tried. Then the brow gel, I really like the color. I feel like it's not warm at all. I still got to kind of get used to using a product like this a little bit more, but I think I like it better than the Ioni, mainly for the shade, and I do feel it was probably a little less messy. The brush, I just had a little bit more control with the brush, so really like that as well. Then the highlighter, I think the packaging is like an A+. It's beautiful. This shade I really like. It's kind of a shade I don't really have in my collection very much. It's kind of like a it's kind of a little bit more of like a lit from within highlight color, because it is a little bit closer to the shade of my skin. It's not so light or so dark. So I really like the highlighter. I think I'll get a lot of use out of that. I think that's something I will reach for pretty often. The lip plumper, there is no tingle. I am not experiencing a tingle at all, which I don't mind. The color is really beautiful. It's like this really fun pink. It's very glossy. It's not super sticky. It feels like it'll last a good while. So yeah, I really like the lip plumper. And the lashes. Okay, the lashes I think are the biggest fail. The last couple times I've gotten Shop Miss A lashes, I haven't loved them. These here, like I said, they feel very cheap, and I feel like an LA Colors lash or an Ioni lash is just it's such better quality for $1.25 versus, I think I said, $1.55 or $1.88 for these. The band is really thick. They're very difficult. They were difficult to put on. I couldn't quite get them even feeling, especially this one right here. They were super long, like too big for my eyes, so I had to trim them, which I don't mind. I have to do that with a lot of lashes, but for me, it wouldn't be worth going out of my way to get them from Shop Miss A when I can get lashes that I personally like at the Dollar Tree. Like I said, the band was really thick, especially for how short these lashes are. So I hope you enjoyed getting to see me test out some more Shop Miss A makeup. If you did, of course, show me you did by hitting the like button. Again, I'll have related content linked down below, so definitely go give some of my other videos a binge watch, especially my Shop Miss A video from last year. Definitely make sure you go check that out. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.